outdoor industry is a crowded space. There are literally thousands of brands all developing, manufacturing, and pushing gear in hopes that you will buy from them. Some of these companies are all too familiar to us, to the point that it almost becomes cliche. But then there are small cottage industry brands who are sometimes literally making gear in their garage. The question is, who do you want to support? The big guys or the underdogs? Well, today I want to introduce you to 5 small brands who are making exceptional gear that you should take on your next trip. Let's check it out. One of the staples of any gear loadout is a fleece mid-layer. The problem that I've had is sometimes I need a fleece and sometimes I go a whole trip without ever putting it on. And anytime that happens, I can't help but think, why did I bring it? And let's face it, fleece isn't light. Most fleece mid-layers weigh close to a pound, which is no small thing. I've seen some people get pretty worked up over a pound. But what if there was a fleece light enough that you could throw it in your pack just in case and not worry about it? We're talking 4 ounces here. That is how much the Farpoint Alpha Cruiser hoodie weighs. 4 ounces. Now, if you buy one of these things, you're gonna be like, what the hell, Steven, this thing's got holes in it. And I'll admit that it's not the best for wind, but most of us are carrying a rain jacket too that's perfect to block the wind. And if you're not, well, then it's probably not cold enough for a mid-layer anyways. But layer this with your rain jacket to cut wind, or put it under your puffy for some extra warmth, and you have a pretty sweet mid-layer. This is my favorite new piece of gear for 2022. I love the way that it feels, I love the way that it looks, I love how light it is. And if you know me, I have a special place in my heart for Melanzana, but I like the Farpoint Alpha hoodie so much that when I go to grab a little extra warmth, it's been winning out over my Melly. And it's a heck of a lot easier to get your hands on, as you can actually order them online. But they do go quick anytime a fresh batch is made, so if you want one, grab it up as soon as you see it in stock.
One of the things that this Alpha fleece is perfect for is when you start going early in the morning and it's still too cold to really take off a layer, but you know that you're gonna get warm once you start moving. This Alpha fleece works great for that because it's so breathable and it keeps the cold off of you, but it also allows you to evacuate heat quickly.
In fact, that's actually what Alpha fleece was designed for, an ultra breathable, active insulating layer. There's a saying in backpacking that every ounce counts, and that has never been more true than with this next brand, At Stakes. At Stakes is a husband and wife team making carbon fiber tent stakes in their garage. And I wasn't quite sure what to think about these when I first started looking into this company, because if I'm being honest, stakes don't weigh that much to begin with. But these carbon fiber stakes are so light that my scale literally cannot detect them. And when you hold them side by side with a regular stake, it feels like you're holding nothing. I think the official weight is between 3 and 4 grams each. Now, carbon fiber certainly isn't as strong as aluminum or titanium, so I wouldn't recommend taking these into the desert where you gotta hammer your stakes into hard, rocky ground. But in 90% of the places that I hike, I'm camping on soft soil where driving a stake is as easy as stepping on it. They also have these bright colors with the green glowing in the dark, which is super helpful when you're walking around camp at night. You don't want to trip on your guy lines. And they have a solid metal tip to help get them past any obstructions as you're placing them in the ground. All in all, they're just a really cool piece of ultralight gear from a small brand trying to contribute to the ultralight community. If you're into ultralight, it's worth checking out these one-of-a-kind stakes. Now, all these brands that I'm talking about today, you can get at Garage Grown Gear, who is sponsoring this video. They specialize in ultralight and especially small cottage brands. There's a lot of cottage underdog brands that will never get the attention of big box retailers, and that is exactly why Garage Grown Gear exists, to help people like you find amazing little brands doing amazing things that otherwise you probably would never hear of. So if you're interested in supporting smaller brands and smaller retailers, go check out Garage Grown Gear. Not only are they a small retailer who deserves your business, but they thrive on supporting other small brands. Check them out at garagegrowngear.com or in the link in the description. When it comes to ultralight backpacking, titanium is the metal of choice, and there's one brand that is doing some pretty cool things with it. You've probably heard of the Vargo Dig trowel with its serrated edges to help you cut through roots and sticks when it's time to do your business. But the thing that I love about the Dig trowel is its rounded edge at the top, so it doesn't cut into your hand as well. I've been using this thing to dig cat holes, and I'm beginning to wonder why I ever use anything else. I still have one small complaint with this little notch they have cutting out of it. If you hold it in just the wrong way, it will still dig in your hand. But other than that, I've been loving my Dig trowel. But Vargo doesn't just make troughs, they make all kinds of stuff out of titanium, like this 700 milliliter titanium bot. Now, what is a bot? I have no idea, but it's a lot like a pot, and this perked my interest because of its screw-on waterproof lid. If you turn the lid upside down, then you have a loose fit that you can use while you're cooking, and then if you have something left over that you don't quite know what to do with, you can just screw on the top and seal it up real good without having to worry about all that stuff leaking all over your backpack if a Ziploc breaks. The bot is perfect for someone who likes to cold soak their meals. You know who you are, especially if you want to go back and forth between hot meals and cold soaking. Vargo also makes these really interesting external frame packs. Do you remember those? They all but went away a couple of decades ago, but there's still a lot of benefits to an external frame pack. The Vargo Xtoy 50 has a titanium frame, making it one of the only ultralight external frame packs in existence. Check out Vargo and all the cool things that they're making out of titanium. Okay, so I get really cold feet, especially at night, which is why I picked up a pair of Goose Feet down booties. I brought them specifically on my last trip because I was half expecting to have to post hole through some snow at some point, and if you've ever done that, it leaves your feet wet and cold at the end of the day. I actually didn't encounter any snow, but my feet still got cold, and so luckily I had these Goose Feet booties with me. I used these while I was sitting around camp just before bed, but even if I hadn't, these things are so light and packable that it's not a problem just to throw them in your pack. They even sell these over booties that you can slip over the down booties and walk around camp if you need to, or get up to pee in the middle of the night. I unfortunately don't have a pair of the over booties yet, but after using these a few times, I can really see how useful they would be. And speaking of useful, down booties do more than just keep your feet warm. At night, after my feet are warm and comfortable in my quilt, I used the down booties to insulate my camera and phone batteries so that they didn't lose power overnight due to the cold. And I even used these to wrap an extra camera lens to help protect it while it was in my pack. These only weigh 2 ounces for a pair, so go check out Goose Feet down booties. Actually, I think they call them socks, so go check out Goose Feet down socks. Last on this list is a great little company that you need to know about, and that is Hilltop Packs. Hilltop makes packs, of course, but they also make custom printed food bags, Dyneema chair bags, some pretty innovative battery bags, and more. One of the things that I'm slowly trying to do is replace all my regular stuff sacks with nice, lightweight Dyneema sacks. And one of the first things that I wanted was a chair bag from Hilltop Packs, mainly because everything on the inside of my pack typically goes inside a nyloflume or a poly trash bag to help keep it dry. But I often carry my chair on the outside of my pack where it's likely going to get wet in a downpour. But with the Hilltop Dyneema chair bag, it's much more protected from the rain. Now, the bags aren't seam sealed, but seams are minimal and the Dyneema isn't going to soak in water like the nylon bag the chair came in. It would take quite a bit of water to get this chair wet in my custom Hilltop bag. I got this one custom printed with my logo on it, but you can literally put anything on it that you want, or you can even get it plain if that's your thing. Either way, if you want some awesome lightweight storage and organization stuff sacks made out of Dyneema, Echo Pack, and more, check out Hilltop Packs. So there you have 5 small underdog brands you can help support to encourage more unique innovation in our sport. Is backpacking a sport? You know what I mean. Check out these brands and the only retailer that supports small brands like this, Garage Grown Gear. Like, subscribe, and do all those other things. And as always, thanks for watching. I don't know if that's a duck or what that is. And I don't even know if you can hear it, but it's bothering me.